Today's my topic is Lessons of Planning in India. 64 years of planning, the main lessons for future policy orientation may be summarized as growth of agriculture is the principal cause of slowdown in the overall growth rate. Unless the strategy of development is changed and revitalization of agriculture is given prime importance, the fulfillment of the plan targets will not be achieved. The plan has to maintain the real level of investments. For this purpose, the planners should evolve a policy for seriously arresting the price rise and financing the plan in a non-inflationary manner. Public and private consumption expenditure is known for raising the level of domestic savings as well as to control inflation. Non-planned expenditure is eating away nearly three-fourths of the additional revenue necessary to exercise vigilance on non-planned expenditure without adversely affecting efficiency. The balance of payment projection indicates the trend of widening trade gap, which is partly bridged by surplus from invisible and by borrowing from abroad. But external finance is no substitute for internal finance. The conceptual framework of India plans can be defined, yet its results rarely come up to expectations due to poor implementation. More attention needs to be paid to the question of restructuring various agencies responsible for implementation so that they function efficiently. The new economic reforms initiated since 1991 and implemented haltingly should be continued and implemented effectively so as to leave no room for uncertainty. Only then they will yield results expected of them. The political situation at the center should at no cost be allowed to reverse these measures which have well for India so far. Some suggestion may be offered to create conditions favorable for generating a higher rate of growth. First one is effective steps have to be taken to control the rising expenditure at central and state levels. The government must learn to adopt the path of fiscal discipline. Disinvestment in public sector units must not be stalled. This investment would be beneficial in realizing resources for the government to be applied more productively in infrastructure and social sectors. Third one is, it is also necessary to create an environment more conducive to attract foreign direct investment. Next one, we need to strengthen infrastructure, particularly in the sectors of power, telecom, roads, and ports. Next one, the second generation economic reforms must now be effectively implemented. Priority has to be accorded to bring about changes in labor laws and practices which have hardly been touched so far. This is necessary as for too long organized labor in the country has been allowed to hold many an industry to ransom and has acted as a new investment. In Indian planning, India cannot get into the proper result. It means our expectation is very high, but we cannot get into the result because of poor implementation.